pro boxing fans here after the weigh-in for Eubank versus Smith. We got a promoter, Kalle Sauerland. Kalle, fiery, intense. They couldn't take their eyes off each other. It was, you could feel all that passion, all the hunger. Finally build up.
Fiery is one word. Look, I said at the beginning of the week, I said after the first press conference, there was a genuine dislike. Obviously, yesterday, certain things went a bit over the personal line. That changed that sort of fiery into a new dynamic, which, of course, is very, very interesting to see how that. Does it affect the fight tomorrow? Does it make people make mistakes? Does it make people go that extra distance to make a statement? Junior was. I think he doesn't show too much emotion, but I think he wasn't happy that it got personal. Like he said, this is personal now. So it's a game changer, really, isn't it?
Liam at the end spoke to Sky Sports and said he made it personal. He's made it personal, so I'm going to, in the ring, I'm going to have to take care of business. When you look at that press conference, where did it all come from? Who made it personal first?
Well, I think it's quite obvious that it started with Liam asking certain things. I'm not going to go into it too much, but, you just go look at the press conference yourself, make your own judgment.
But let's talk about promoting Chris Eubank Jr. for this fight. It must be easy because he's becoming very accustomed to social media. Does a lot of pranks. He's doing the billboards and
everything, and he's. You sort of sit back and watch him perform, and it's fantastic. It's really great. It's really great to see.
I spoke to Johnny Nelson yesterday. He goes, "Why haven't we seen this Chris Eubank Jr. before?" We started to see a little bit more where he's got a bit more character. It seems like the bigger the fight is, the bigger the character pulls out.
Yeah, Junior he's like I say, the superstar of the division, because he brings that sprinkling of what people want to see. He rubs people up. Some people up the wrong way, some people up the right way. Luckily, it's more and more now that rubbing up, people like it. Yeah, but it's all part of the game, isn't it? And the main thing is we're going to see a fantastic fight to top it all off tomorrow night. I'm sure of it. I just think that I don't know how long it will go. I think the first 3-4 rounds are going to be electric. And then I just think that the speed of Eubank, and despite similar ages, I just think that Eubank's got a lot more left in the tank. And I think that after 3-4 tough rounds, I think he's going to take over.
As a promoter, I know the fighter doesn't like to talk about future fights, but as a promoter, you generally have sort of a path ready for him if he was to win, if he was to lose. Providing he wins, he's already talked about on the stage there, Gennady Golovkin. He's talked about Canelo in the past. He wants these big fights. How close is he if he beats Liam Smith on Saturday night? Is he close to Gennady Golovkin or something overseas?
I don't know when it were necessarily overseas. He's become, he's behind Fury and AJ. He's the number 3 in the UK right now in terms of big names in UK boxing. There's no bigger name outside of Junior. Take out the heavyweights and that's him. So to travel in boxing, it means there's something more lucrative now. Of course, Canelo. You look at Vegas. We'd be fools if we didn't. But at the moment, I've obviously been working over the last couple of months to see what's realistic and not, and I don't think Canelo's going to be in the next fight, but then again, it's boxing. Things happen, things change, but there's certainly some very, very interesting fights out there. I do think Canelo could happen this year, but the path, let's sit down with Junior on it. I've got the options, and then Junior's got a sort of he's got to fight him, so I can only line them up, and then we'll go through it and see what path is best to take us through 2023. But like I said, we've got a live fight here tomorrow, and I just want to get through that first. We talk victory.
Obviously, as a promoter, we are going to ask you questions. I need to ask you, obviously, Eddie Hearn's already talking about a possible fight with Eubank and Conor Benn. They're saying that Conor's clear. We're waiting for that statement, first of all. Provided that Conor Benn pulls out this statement, can you see that fight with Eubank Jr. happening?
Yeah, if he's cleared and he's allowed to box, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, it's a monster, isn't it? And Junior is going to take some convincing not to do it if he's allowed to fight him. You know, so he said himself it was a family feud. Now it's a little bit deeper than that. A little bit deeper than that.
In regards to Conor Benn, though, if he releases this statement, is that just a clean slate for him, or has he lost some of his credibility?
I don't know what he's going to say in the statement. I don't know what the you know. So far, you know, I saw saying that Eddie pushing the WBC, because really so far they've only come out with sort of like a statement, as in, you know, comment. But that's not really when you put in what is it they put in there, 2,800 word report, whatever it is. I've got no idea. You know, I guess they want an end to this. You know, it's been a while, and I can understand their frustration. We are as well, because we need to look at that as well from our side. But yeah, it's like, the ball's out my court on that one.
Eddie's talking about a Conor Benn versus Gervonta Tank Davis fight. What do you make of that?
Good fight. Good fight.
I just want to quickly talk about the heavyweights. I know you're quite close to one like Tyson Fury, so I do need to get your opinion on a fight that looks like it's going to happen in the first part of this year. Tyson Fury versus Oleksandr Usyk for all the belts. What happens in that fight, Kalle?
You know, my old mate Tyson will do the business. He'll take all 4 belts. That's my opinion.
I do want to ask you about another fighter. Every time Tyson's name gets mentioned, Anthony Joshua's name gets mentioned. I want to ask a very simple question. In your eyes, do you feel like Anthony Joshua can become world champion again?
With his mindset and his determination, and you know, he takes this sport. He could walk away and become a Hollywood actor probably tomorrow. You know, it's not an airport I walk through where I don't see Anthony Joshua in some fashion store or whatever it is. So, you know, he's doing this because he believes in that, and you know, he's got the athleticism. He's got to have the mindset to put into that, and he has to make changes. You know, and from the opponent, I'm hearing they're taking for April. I think that's a wise step. It's a step. Personally, I would have liked to have seen him take after the first Usyk fight instead of going straight into Usyk fight. I said that at the time, but not involved. It's just a fan's comment, basically. With a little bit of experience in those situations, I would have preferred to have seen that instead of go straight out to Saudi and do the rematch. Don't think that was a wise idea, but okay, got to pay the bills. And he's clearly going to take 1 or 2 fights to learn with a trainer. You know, when you change a trainer, you know, in any sport, you need to give that time. We talk about in football all the time in the Premier League. You know, you've got to give it a top trainer. You can't expect him to walk in, and especially in an individual sport, and things just to change. Oh, well, he's got, you know, actually the late great Manny Stewart in the corner now, and everything is going to be fine. No, it doesn't work that way. So, you know, he's changed his camp, and he's got to now look what can I sharpen, what things went wrong, what things went right, and that will take time. And to do that best, you do it with fights where you know, you've got to challenge yourself in those fights. I'm sure that the opponent that I've heard it is a solid opponent. Yeah. You know. So
the opponent that we're hearing is Jermaine Franklin. What Eddie's saying is,
if that's the right opponent, I think it's a good choice. I think it's a very I find it an interesting fight. He gave Dillian hell, absolute hell, and he's a tough guy. He's going to come to win, and that's what you want. You want someone who you probably will beat, but you're going to get a fight, you know, and not someone who's going to turn up and then fall over and take the money after 2 rounds. That's not going to help him either.
If he doesn't beat him, Eddie's saying that could be maybe game over for Anthony Joshua. Do you believe that's the case?
Yeah, I mean, you've got to build up fights with storylines, don't you? You know, I mean, if he lost to Franklin, it's about how, you know, do they clash heads and he loses and, you know, it was bad luck and then, you know, no. So to categorically say, well, I get it, I've been there before, you know, you've got to sell the fight, you know, it's all or nothing. I guess that's the name of the fight as well. No, I get it, of course, yeah, and on paper, yes, it would be catastrophic.
Final one for myself, and something a bit different. The UFC have released one of the top stars in France, Ngannou. Yeah. Ngannou has always said he wants to get into boxing. He's always wanted to be a boxer.
Yeah,
he's looking. You'd love to sign him?
Yeah, I'd love to sign him. I think he'd fit perfectly as well into our crossover stuff with Misfits. I think we could build him on there, bring over Derek Chisora, big fight like that, you know. No, there's lots of good fights for him. I believe that Mams is speaking to their people. I'm sure a lot of people are speaking to their people. I think we could offer him something pretty unique, though.
So the ball's rolling already, the negotiations or some sort of talks have already started?
I'm not involved, but my partner Mams is discussing with his people, yes.
Kalle Sauerland, thank you very much for talking to Pro Boxing fans. I appreciate your time. And yeah, good luck to yourself and Awesome Boxing and Chris Eubank Jr on Saturday night. And we'll talk to you very soon. Thank you very much.